सबको दिख रहा है?
हाँ मैम।
Can everybody see this screen?
हाँ मैम। यस मैम।
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll start. Okay. In last class मैंने आपको
मैम दिख रहा है?
इंग्लिश पढ़ाया था. सब लोग माइक ऑफ कर दो. हाँ हाँ ठीक है, माइक ऑफ कर दो. मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ. ठीक है. इन लास्ट क्लास आई हैव टॉट दीज टॉपिक्स, बट वो वीडियो की क्लैरिटी नहीं थी. कुछ लोगों ने बोला कि उस वीडियो में क्लियर पिक्चर नहीं आ रही है कि क्या टॉपिक चल रहा है, और इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि मैं एक बार उस वीडियो को दोबारा से रिवाइज करूँगी और उसके बाद नेक्स्ट टॉपिक पर हम मूव ऑन करेंगे. So today I am going to explain what are Python modules, the Python data structure, that is pandas data structure, series and data frame, and creation of series, how we can create a series. So today I am going to discuss these 3-4 topics again, but it will be little bit fast. So again I am going to tell you what are modules. Actually modules are parts of a big program. So like how we divide a book into chapters to make it easy to understand, to make it readable, to make it a more enjoyable while reading. So likewise, if a big program is created, it will be too complex to understand the concept, to understand the program. So we can divide a big program into smaller units, and these smaller units are called modules. Again I am telling you, a bigger program divided into smaller parts, and those smaller parts are called modules. Now you will create modules in a program is by using functions. Whenever we use functions in a program, then these functions provide modularity to the program. So this process of dividing a program into modules is called modularity. And if we want to achieve modularity, we use functions for that. Last year हम लोगों ने function कैसे बनाना है ये सीखा था. Again the same method we will study, functions कैसे बनाना है, उसे कैसे use करना है. So I think you understood what is module. So modules are parts of program. Now in Python, a module is a Python file. It is a .py file in Python. So whenever we talk about module, it is a file, it is a .py file which have many functions in it. So like for example, we have math module. It has all the functions related to mathematical operations. Now again, if I am talking about a module called string module, then this string module contains all the functions related to string operations. So I think you understood, it is a file having all the functions. So whenever we want to use those functions, we need to import the module. Again, one module is NumPy. Now if we want to perform operations on NumPy arrays, then we need to import a module called NumPy. I think you remember NumPy, हमने last year पढ़ा है NumPy. Then moving on to the next topic, that is pandas. Now what is pandas? Pandas is another module which we are going to study this year. And what is pandas? It is a module, it is a Python file which have two data structures. Means it provides two data structures. And what these data structures do? It is easy to use these data structures in data analysis and manipulation. You all know that data is a very big problem nowadays. So to make use of efficient data and to reject or discard the unnecessary data, that process is called data analysis, and that process is called data mining also. So extraction of good data and discarding old data and not unimportant data, that those processes involve data analysis. So for data analysis, we use two data structures study here. Two data structures are series and data frames. You can see in your computer this. Now these series and data frame data structures we are going to study this year. Again, the term data structure means how you are storing the data. The way in which you store data is called data structure. So this pandas module contains data structures which helps in data analysis and manipulation or changes in the data. I think you understood what I told. So we are going to study these two data structures provided by pandas. So normally we call it as pandas series, pandas data frame. We will discuss this later. Now matplotlib is another module which you are going to study this year, and it is a very important module. Matplotlib will help you make visual diagrams like this: graphs, pie charts, horizontal bar graphs. You can create line charts also. You can create scattered chart also. So different types of visual graphics, visual uh, graphical designs we can create using this type of module. So two modules which we are going to study this year is pandas and matplotlib. In pandas, we are going to study two data structures, series and data frame. In matplotlib, we are going to study pie chart, bar graph, scattered chart, and other charts are also there that we will discuss this later. For example, box plot, which is also there in your syllabus. So matplotlib module will provide these facilities, these functions. So now we will go on to pandas series. Now what is a series? Again, we have studied NumPy. We have studied NumPy module, NumPy library, and in that NumPy library, we have methods to create arrays. Now, series is a one-dimensional array. You can understand this line. It is a one-dimensional array. That means it is an array which is only one-dimensional. That means it is it is a sequence of data. It is a sequence of data. So series is a one-dimensional array. So what is the difference between series and array is, in series you can hold data of any type. But in NumPy array, we can hold data of one type only at a time. At a time, you can hold one type of data. But in series, you can have different types of data. In one series, you can have different data type elements. Now, uh, this is the syntax to create series. How we can create a series? Now, see this syntax: pandas dot series data index d type copy. What is data? Data takes the values which you are going to or the elements of the series which you are going to insert in the series. It is a one dimensional structure. Understand this, data is one dimensional. Now index is also one dimensional array which is supported by this data or which refers to the data. Again I am going to explain what is index. We can see this diagram. uh, One second, I will explain you this. Understand this. This is a series. Here, I think you can see my cursor, no? Okay, see this. This 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the data, which is this array represents data, and this array represents index. So index and data are the two one-dimensional arrays in which index are referring to this particular data. All the index refers to a particular data. So 0 index refers to data 0, 1 index refers to data 1, 2 index refers to data 2, and 3 index refers to 3 likewise. Here 0 index refers to data value 3.0, 1 index refers to the data value 5.0, 2 index refers to the data value 4.0. I think you understood that index and data are the two one-dimensional arrays which are stored simultaneously in a series. So this is data and index. Now see the D type. Now D type is the type of data which you are using, type of data which you are using in this series. If none, if you have not mentioned any data type, that is it is having it does not have any value, no data is stored, then data type will be inferred. That means none data type will be there. Now we are going to discuss it later, so I'm not explaining it further. Now the fourth attribute of this series function, this is a function, fourth attribute is copy data and default false. That means if you want to copy the data of this series into another series, then you can use this copy attribute, and by default it is false. By default it will not copy. Until unless you make it as true, then only it will copy the data values of one series into another series. This we will discuss it later. Now how to create a series, jaldi jaldi मैं थोड़ा explain करूँगी. How to create an empty series? Use this import pandas as PD. That means we are referring pandas as PD from now onwards. We will use PD instead of pandas. It doesn't mean you cannot use pandas dot, like that you cannot call functions like pandas dot series. ऐसे भी call कर सकते हैं. You can use PD also. Now we have used this as to create a series S equals to PD dot series. Can you see this? PD dot series means you are calling this function series which is having S as capital S, and you are storing the series data and index values in S. Now if we print S, this is going to reflect as empty series. Here empty brackets are there, square brackets are there, and D type is float 62. By default the data type is float. By default the data type is float, and 64 is the bit of, or the operating system bits which is there in our operating system. It is known as the 64 is my operating system bit, so it is representing 64. If you are using an operating system having 128 bits, then it will display 128. If you are using 32-bit operating system, it will display 32-bit here. Now again we will go on to another methods. Now in this we have called this series function having the data values these. Now you can see that in series we can have data of different values. Can you see this? Here 4.5 is float and others are integer. So by default I told you series have by default the data type is float. So if one element is there as float, then all the elements will be converted into floats like this. Understood? Now again see the indexes. Because you have not given any indexes in the function, then it will take it as 0, 1, 2, 3. By default these are the index values. Now in the second example, PD.series range 5. Range function is used in this series function. And what does range means? Start, step and start, stop and step. So if one value is given, that is always the stop value. Now it is going to start by default, the start value is 0 if not mentioned. So here it is not mentioned, so we will take the default value of start is 0. Then it will go up to stop minus 1, and 5 is the stop value. So 5 minus 1, 4. So starting with 0, going up to 4, it will have data values as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now because in the function we have not mentioned index attributes, for example, understood this, we have only mentioned the attribute data. Here we have only mentioned the attribute data. Index is not given in this example. So because of that, by default it will take index as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you understood this. Now again see this. In this we have in this function series function, we have used for data we have used range function, and for index we have mentioned as value x for x in ABCDE. To define the values of x, we have used a for loop. Now for loop will give the values of x, like first value of x will be a, next value of x will be b, next value of x will be c, next value of x will be d, and next value of x will be e. You remember how to write here like this, how they have written x for x in A, B, C, D, E. That means one by one x will have values like A, B, C, D, E. So the indexes are already defined as A, B, C, D, E. So it will have indexes in this. Now the range function will start the value data value from 1. It will go up to 15 minus 1, and it will take the step of 3. That means first value will be 1, then add 3. So next value of data value will be 1 plus 3, 4. Then next data value again add 3. So 4 plus 3, 7. Then again add 3, 7 plus 3, 10. Then again add 3, 10 plus 3, 13. Now see the last value in this range will be 14, stop minus 1. So it will not go up to 14 because 13 plus 3 will take you to 16. So it will stop here itself, up to 13 will get displayed. So this is the series, how we can create a series using range function. Now how we can create a series using ND arrays? Again the method is same. First create an ND array like we have created here. Then what you need to do is create the series using series function and call this ND array or the array name or the array object inside the parenthesis of the series function. Like you can create an array and then call the data object here in the function of series. Now what data values will be there? Whatever data values are there in the array, that will become the data values of the series. So I and dia were the elements inside the array. So those elements will be taken as data values of the series like I and dia. Because in the series function we have not given indexes, so by default it will take indexes as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think you understood how you can create a series using an array. Last year in session ending examination, or what we can say that in that pre-board examination, one question came like that, how you can create a series using an array. So remember this method. An array can be created and the object can be called in the series function, like you can create an series using array. Now again one more example is there. Create an array. Now create series, call the array object data inside the series function, and then you can mention indexes by your own. Means on your own you can write, you can give those indexes which you want. You don't want the default indexes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can give indexes in like this, index equals to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So default indexes will not be there. You can give your own indexes. Whatever you want to give, you can give as indexes like this. But data is taken from array, so array elements will become the data and the indexes are of your own choice. So like that index change. Now one more question that can be created from here is how you can change the index of a series. So if a series is already there having indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, then create another again create the series having the series object in the function series, and you can create indexes like this. So index can be changed. If the series is already created, you can change the index of the series from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the indexes of your own choice. This is just a trick I am telling you. If the series is already created, then also you can change the indexes. Okay, now moving on to the next thing. Now creation of series objects having missing values, that means you don't have a value here. So if the value is missing, then also you need to specify it like np.nan. Now this np denotes numpy, because this nan object is stored in numpy library. So whenever you are using nan, you need to import the library numpy. Then you can call object nan, and nan signifies not a number, that means missing value, that means absence of value. Remember this, nan means not a number. You can see here it is written not a number, and you can assume it as a absence of a value. It signifies there is missing value here, value is not given here. So whenever you will use nan, you need to import it and use it. So like see here, the values are 6.5 nan and 2.34. That means this value is missing. Now index is not given, so by default 0, 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2 is taken. Again we will move on to the next topic. Now creating series using dictionary. Create dictionary. The object of the dictionary here is data. Call this dictionary object inside the series function. It is same as you are using it in for like you are creating it for arrays. Now again see that here the indexes are a little bit different. You can understand this as the keys of the dictionary will become the indexes of the series. Understand this. Always the keys of the dictionary will become the indexes of the series, and the data values of the corresponding keys will become the data values of the indexes in the series. So key, data value, key, data value, key value, key value, key value is taken from the dictionary and stored in a series like this. Now again, we have created the dictionary inside the function itself. Can you see this? Using curly brackets, we have created the dictionary inside the series function. Now again, anybody is recording the video?
Ma'am, I'm recording.
Go. Okay. Okay. Then again, see here, we have created a dictionary. The name of the dictionary or the dictionary object name is data, and we have used it here in the series function as for data value, and index we have taken it as VCDA, so it will be there. Now understand this, the D here, D is taken, but in the dictionary A, B, C were the keys. So A, B, C were the keys. So if we have not given indexes, the indexes would be A, B, C. But since we have mentioned indexes like B, C, D, A, the series will not take the keys of the dictionary as indexes. It will have the indexes which is given in the series function. So B, C, D, A. But understand this, we have only three data values, 0 point, 1 point, 2 point. So 0 point will be taken for A index because it was given in the dictionary. For key value A, we have a data value 0 point. So because we have given A at the last, we will take key A and have the data value which was there in the dictionary. Can you understand this? Because the index was having value A, but in the dictionary for this key A, we have a value 0 point. So wherever A is given, it will take the data value of the dictionary as its value. Now again, see, for B in the dictionary, we have value 1.0. So for B, it will take value 1.0. Again for C, it has value 2.0. So here also for C, it will take 2.0. But here the index D is not there in the dictionary. So by default, it will take it as NaN. Because here the values were given as NaN, because it was not mentioned, it was missing. So we can take it as NaN, and NumPy is already imported in this program. I think you understood what is there. For the indexes which you have given, the sequence of the indexes will be like this, B, C, D, A only. But the dictionary values will be shifted or will be according to the dictionary only. So corresponding key will match to the corresponding value in the series. I think you understood what it means. Now again, how to create a series using scalar values. What do you mean by scalar values? That means data values given inside the function itself. The series function itself, we will provide the data values. So we are giving it as data values inside the function it is. We are not taking any object or variable inside the series function. So I think you can see this, it's empty is a string type value which is used as a data value for the series. Now indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 indexes are there. So this string data type value will be repeated for all the indexes. So like that also we can create a series having scalar values. Again, scalar values can be, scalar means one value which is used everywhere, constant value. Understand what is scalar? It is a constant type value. I think maths के students को पता होगा कि scalar means होता है single constant values. तो numbers को हम बोल सकते हैं, string type data element को हम बोल सकते हैं, वो सब scalar values होती है. जैसे यहाँ पर हमने 10 को use किया. So 10 will be repeated for those number of indexes which are there. So 0 range, we have used range function in this indexes part this time. Earlier we have used for loop also for indexes. Now we are using range for indexes. So again it will start from 0, it will go up to 3 minus 1, 2. That means 0, 1, 2. So indexes will be 0, 1, 2. And this 10 data value will be repeated for the number of indexes. Now again the scalar value is 15. It will be repeated for the index values ranging from 1 to 6 minus 1, that is 5. So 1 to 5 it will take, but the step value is 2. So for it will start from 1 plus 2, then next 3 will come, then 3 plus 2, then next 5 index will come. Like that we can create a series. Now again see, this is a scalar value, welcome to BBK. Again indexes are Huma, Hema, Rahul, Anu. So these indexes will be there, 3 indexes will be there, and for these 3 indexes we will repeat the scalar value, welcome to BBK. So in the last class I have taught this much. Now today I am going to discuss only 5-10 minutes class I will take today, because I wanted to discuss the previous topics. It was not clear in the video. So now I will move further for the next topic. Now the next topic is accessing data from series with position. For example, if you have created a series, now how can you access a particular data value in the series? So can you see this? These indexes actually refer to a data value. I have already taught all the indexes refer to a particular data value. For example, here the index 1 refers to value 15. Again here Hema index refers to value welcome to BBK. So all the indexes are pointed towards a data value. So in this also, if you want to access a particular data in the series, then you can access it using its index. Again in the in strings also we access elements of the string using indexes. In list also we access elements of the list using indexes. Now in dictionary we use keys to access data values, elements of the dictionary. So here we can use these indexes to access these data values. For example, if you want to access 4, the data value 4, if you want to access, then you can use it using its index, that is D. So for example, if I'll write print S of 0, 0 means index 0, accessing the first element. Now print S2 will have will define the element which is third element, because it is starting from 0. Now again print S4 will make you to access the last element. Now I'm going to open one Python program. Now I'm going to tell you how you can access a series. So here I'm going to import pandas as PD. It is importing, so the cursor is now blinking. Okay. Now I will write and create a series. Can you see the cursor? Now I will create a series S equals to PD dot capital S. Remember this, S should be capital. Series. Now I'm going to create data. I have taken 100, 200, 300, 400. This is my data. Now for indexes, I'm using index equals to list. I'm using 1. I'll take A, B, then C, and then D. So the index which I am going to take. Now the series is created. If I'll print S, then it will display. I think you all can see this. I have created a series having index A, B, C, D, and the data values 100, 200, 300, 400. Now if I want to access 300, the data value 300, what I am going to print is, I am going, sorry, I don't know what happened. Okay. Now I am going to print S of C. Oh, sorry. Understand this? Because it is a string type key, so I have to mention that quote. So now for accessing 300, we have used S of index like this. I'm going to test this. I'm just checking whether it will display index like this. So this is also possible, because by default we have indexes 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you are giving S of 3, then also it will display the fourth element, because it is starting from 0. So 3 will represent fourth element. If I want to print like this, print s of 2, then it will display the third element, that is 300. I think you all understood how we can create a series and how we can access the data values or the elements of the series. So we will move on to the next topic. Similarly, we have used here indexes. You can use indexes which you have all given. So just now I checked like this. If you mention here the index which you have given as ABCD or whatever index you are giving, that also you can use to get the data value which is there for the particular index. Now we will go to the next example. Now see here, we have imported pandas and numpy. Now we are creating an array. You can see here I have created an array using a range function. It is starting from 9. It will go up to 13 minus 1, 12. Understood? Array is created, 9 to 12 values are stored. Now in the series I have used data as a double star 2. Double star means power function. So whatever a is having, that is first value of a will be 9. So in the data you have 9 power 2. So 9 to the power 2 is 81. So here the first value will become 81, the square. We are creating square for the array elements. So first element of array was 9. So we have created 9 power 2. So it will be 81. The next element of a will be 10. So 10 double star 2, that is 10 to the power 2 will become 100. Now next value will be 11 double star 2, that is 11 to the power 2 will become 121. Now again next value is 12. 12 to the power 2 will become 144. So like that we can use expressions here. We can use expressions for the data of the series. You can use any type of expression that you want. So the variable a represents an array, and whatever array element is there, it should be squared. We have to calculate the square of those elements, and then we want it to be the data of the series. Now index equals to a. What does it mean? That means the elements of the array will become the indexes and its square will become the data value. So a means the first index will be 9, second index will be 10, third index will be 11, and fourth index will be 12. Likewise, indexes are created by the array elements and data is calculated by squaring the array elements, by calculating square of the array elements, 81, 100, like that. So 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100, 11 square is 121, and 12 ka square hai 144. Like this we can create a series having indexes and a square as data values. Now see this object 10. What? Printing individual value. Object is the series name. You can see here this is the series name. So this OB and index, in the square brackets I am giving 10, and 10 was the index. So here 10 index will refer to data value 100. So see the output is 100. Understood? Then next example is how you can slice the series. So here OB series was having data and index like this. So if I am doing slicing for the series, then OB 2 is to 4. Then 2 is the start value and 4 is the stop value. So it will go up to 4 minus 1. So again starting from 2. So what is 2? Here indexes are 0, then index is 1, then index is 2. It will take you to the index 11. इसका भी माइक ऑन है, बंद कर दो. इसका भी माइक ऑन है, बंद कर दो. So यहाँ पर देखो, we have used the start value of this slicing, उसमें 2 लिखा है. So starting from index 0, कहाँ पर आएगा 2? 0, 1 and 2. So 11 पर आ जाएगा. So we are pointing to 11. Now it will go up to 4 minus 1, that is 3. So 2 to 3. So 11, 12 indexes and its corresponding value 121, 144 will be taken. I think you understood what is this slicing means. Now again see object, that is series object OB starting from 1 is 2. The stop is not mentioned, that means it will take you to the end. So we will see where is the index 0. So it is index 0. Now next is index 1. So we will start from index 1 and we will move up to the end. So index 1 is having index value as 10, 100 is the data value, then 11, then 12. So 3 indexes and 3 data values are displayed. Again, object, we will start with 0. Ending is not mentioned, that means we have to go up to the end, and we will take a step value as 2. So it will start with 0, then plus 2, 2, then plus 2, 4. So 0, 2, 4, like that indexes will be taken. So first index is 0, which have index value as 9. So that will get displayed. Now the next index will take the value as step value as plus 2. So 0 plus 2 will become 2. So the next index 1 is skipped and we will go to the index 2. So 11 and 121 will be displayed here. Now again we will slice it like this. Start is not given, so by default it is 0. Stop is not given, that means it will go up to the end. And minus 1. Minus 1 means you have to start from the last. In reverse order, you have to display the elements. So minus 1 is the index of the last data value, that is 12. So we will start from here. We will go up to the end, that is backward direction movement or backward movement we will do. We will go up to the end. So it will be displayed in reverse order. So 12, 124, 144, 11, 121, 100, 10, 100 and 981. So you can see this using indexes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can access the series or we can slice the series accordingly. I hope you understood this topic. Now we will move to the next topic, that is operations on series object. So we will see some operations like if you want to change the values of particular indexes, how you will change. So you see this, for data we have used range function. For indexes we are using indexes in the sequence A, B, C, D, E. So like this series will be created. This is the series. Now if you want to change a particular value of a particular index, then you have to use series object, the key and equal to the new value. So see, the index C was having a previous value as 7. Now it is changed to 17. You can change the data values of the series. Now if you can change the data values of a series in place, then this means that series is, can anyone say? If you can change the data values of a series in place, like here we have changed, it was earlier 7 for index C, it was having value 7, but now we have changed it to 17. Now if we can change the data value or the element of a particular sequence or literal in a Python, then it is known as, can anyone say? If we can change the data elements in place. So what does it mean?
Mutable, ma'am.
Mutable.
Yes, yes. So series are mutable. Understand this concept. Series are mutable in nature. So again, see this, we have changed. So the 7 is replaced by 17. Now here also we have the series. Now we are using a range or the slicing method to change the elements. So from 2 to 4 minus 3, yeah, 2 and 3, the element will be changed to 100. So what is 2? 0, 1, 2. This element 17 will be changed to 100 and it will go up to 4 minus 1, 3. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. This element 10 will also be changed to become 100, 100. Again, we are using start, stop, step methods of slicing, and we are changing the values as 100. So first it will start with 1, will take a step value as plus 2. So first index will be 1. So 0, 1. So B value 4 is changed to 100. And now it will have a step value as 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So it will go up to 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So the D value having data value 10 will also be changed to 100. Again, if you do plus 2, then 3 plus 2 will become 5. But here the series stop value is 5 minus 1, 4. So it will not go further. Now this is the element modification operation in series. Now again we will see some other operations, like how you can change the indexes. Here we have changed the data elements. Now here we can change the indexes also. So I will tell you how you can change. We have created the series like this. This is the series. Now we can change the indexes, as you can call a function called s dot series. Actually it is not a function, it is index is the attribute. So you can change the index as s dot index equal to the new index values. So but you remember that the indexes which are there in the series should, the number of indexes in the series should match the number of new indexes. You cannot take lesser or more number of indexes in this type of statement. So s dot index equals to, like this, new indexes can be given. So a b c d e indexes are changed to u v w x y, the elements remaining same. Now again, next operation, head and tail function. This is a very important topic. You can consider it as very important, because one question always comes from head and tail operations in series, and in data frame also the same function is there. So what is head function? This head function, because it is a function, it is having a parenthesis. So in the parenthesis you must mention a number. So head function with a number fetches first n rows, means whatever number you have mentioned. If you are mentioning 2, it will fetch first 2 rows from a pandas object, that is a series. We are talking about series. So that means it will fetch first 2 rows of the series. If you do not provide any value of n, if you leave the head function like empty parenthesis, then by default it will take the value of n as 5. So head without any number inside the parenthesis, then it will take the first 5 rows of the series. Now again, tail means it will fetch n number of rows from the series or data frames. If you are not providing any value to the tail function parenthesis, then it will take by default as 5. So here we can see a series is given in the example. We are creating a series having data as the value from math.sqrt_x. Now what is x? X is for x in range 1 to 10 minus 1, that is 9, and indexes are the range for x in the range 1 to 10. Here you can see. So values are from 1 to 9, and here value indexes are from 1 to 9. So now x values means it is taking the square root. So first value of x will be 1. Yeah, you can understand this for loop. First value of x is 1. Then you have to take the square root of 1. So it will become like this. Again the next value of x is 2. The square root of x will become this. Again the next value of x is 3. The square root will be taken as the data value. It is like this. Now all the up to 9, all the x values will be stored as the square root of those values as data elements in the series. Now we have created the series. Now using head function, how you can use head function? See here I have called s dot head with the value, with the number 6. It will take the first 6. Head means from the top, tail is from the bottom. So from the head, that is from the top, it will take first 6 like this. First 6 rows will be taken. Now again calling tail with 7 value, it will start from bottom and it will take total 7 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So up to 3. But remember that it will not display the series in reverse order. It will take up to the last 7 rows, but the order of representation will be in the same as it is stored in the series. It will not display the last 7 rows in reverse order. It will have the order as same before as it was created using series function. Now we are not using anything inside the parenthesis in the head function, then it will take the first 5 rows. So first 5 rows are displayed from the series. If you are not giving anything inside the tail function, it will take last 5 rows starting from 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last 5 rows will be taken, but it will display those 5 rows in the same order which like it was there in the series. So this is the series function. Now two more slides are there that I'm going to explain it a little bit fast. So now operations in series, like vector operations. Now what is vector operations? This is plus, minus, multiplication, exponent. These are called vector operations. So understand, this is a series. If you are adding plus 2 in the series, all the data elements will be added by this plus 2. So 11 will become 13, 12 will become 14, 13 plus 2 means 15, 14 plus 2 will become 16. Now again, if you are multiplying it by 3, that is series object S is multiplied by 3, then all the elements will be multiplied by 3. So these are actually, this method of spreading one operation to all the elements of the series is known as broadcasting. Remember this concept. Whenever we perform vector operations in a series, it is broadcasted to all the elements. It is reachable to all the elements of the series. So this is the process. The method is called broadcasting. So all the operations which you, vector operations which you perform in series, will be broadcasted to all the elements of the series. So here we are calculating the power of 2. So that is we are calculating the square. So 11 square 121, 12 square is 144, like that it will be, all the elements will be squared. Now S greater than 30. Now this is a relational operator. Understand, there are 5 relational operators, or 6 I should say. Less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, double equal to, and not equal to. So 6 relational operators are there in Python. So here if we are using relational, understand this, whenever relational operators are used, the output will be Boolean, either true or false. Remember, the Boolean true will have capital T, the Boolean false will have capital F. So it is not same as what you use F small, that is a different concept. So F small means it is not Boolean. So S greater than 13. So first value of S is, can you see the series? The first value of S is 11. Is it greater than 13? No. So the output is false. Now next value of S is 12. Is it greater than 13? No. So output is false. Next value of the series is 13. 13 is not greater than 13. So again it is false. Now 14 is greater than 13. So the last element is true. So likewise we can perform some operation. Now see this part of the series, this side arithmetic operation. If there is a series S like this, S1 like this, and S3 like this, if you perform S plus S1, all the elements will be added element wise. So 11 will be added to 21 to become 32, 12 will be added to 22 to become 34, 13 will be added to 23 to become 36, and 14 will be added to 24 to become 38. Likewise, if you perform S plus S3, see here the indexes of S and indexes of S1 matches. So here we can perform addition, but indexes of S and indexes of S3 do not match. So all the indexes, because S was written first, so indexes of S will be taken. Now to add it with S3, the indexes does not match. So it will have 11 plus NaN, it will become NaN. 12 plus NaN, it will become NaN. 13 plus NaN, it will become NaN. And again 14 plus NaN will become NaN. So these indexes will have NaN value. Again the indexes of S3 will also be taken in this operation. So 101, 102, 103, 104 having values 21, plus here indexes in S1 do not match with any of the indexes. So here 101, we will assume that in the 10 in series S, 101 index will not is not having a value, that is NaN. So 21 plus NaN will become NaN, 22 plus NaN will become NaN, sorry. So likewise, again you can multiply S with S1 because indexes matches. It will multiply 11 with 21, 12 with 22, likewise. Now if you want to divide S with S1, I will show you S with S1. Then again, because the indexes matches, so 11 will be divided by 21 to get 0.523810. Arithmetic operation is possible on objects of the same index. Otherwise, the result will be n, and you can understand this. So these are the arithmetic operations, and those were the vector operations. Vector means will have values, one scalar value will be there in these type of operations. So these are vector operations. So now last slide is entries, filtering. Now what is filtering? It means that uh, if you are doing some type of vector operation and yet you are getting the output in Boolean form. So like here s less than 2, which we have already studied, this 1.00 is less than 2, that is true, 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 but this 2 is 2.000 is actually 2. So it is not less than 2, it is equal to 2. So here false. Again the same concept is there. You can use s such that s is less than 2. Now understand this type of question. You are displaying those rows of s. Again understand, you are displaying those rows of s in which, or the condition is given in the square brackets, in which the value of s is less than 2. So wherever the value of s is less than 2, you are displaying only those rows of s. So see how you can provide conditions. Can you see this, how you can provide conditions of in the series? So you are going to display only those rows of s in which the values in s is less than 2. So we will see this, that in s wherever the values are less than 2. So can you see this? Less than 2 is this 1, 2 and 3. So first 3 rows are having values less than 2. The fourth value was equal to 2. So it will not come here. So first 3 rows are displayed. Now again display only those rows of s in which s is greater than equal to 2. So equal to is also mentioned. So the fourth index value will come in this type of expression. Now again see other feature. If you write s and then click enter, it will display the series. Now if you want to delete value of any particular index, so here we are using drop. This is a very, very important concept, how you can drop or delete a particular data value of the series using drop function. So in the drop function you have to mention the index. In the drop function you have to mention the index also. So you want to delete third index from the series, that is this value. So it is using drop function, it is deleted, and you will have only 3 rows, 1, 2 and index 4 row. So like this you can delete the values from the series. I hope you understood whatever I taught you today. Now one topic is left, the operations which we have studied here in series will have some attributes also. That means with series we can use some attributes like size, like index. Index I already taught you. To change index you call index attribute. Like this we have many attributes in series that I am going to discuss it in the next chapter, next class. So I hope series is clear for you all. Now I'm going will be by 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock only. That time you can see that worksheet and you can start solving the questions related to series. I hope you understood this concept. Now you may stop recording, means you can click on stop.